Good morning, everybody. It's I, Stippling Vaughn. And of course, you can tell I'm at my local dive bar working. And last week, we had round one of the nominations for the Nobody Gives a Damn Award. It's a award show that we do at the end, pretty much towards the end of each year. And it's a way of saying thank you to the creators. And it is strictly voluntary. We have done is basically us, basically just we throw the names out there. The chat puts in their nominations, and then we do straw polls to get who the people are going to be who are getting nominated for the show. And then the following week we do the award show. Each year we do this. I remember the first year I was just watching it, and it was the second award show, I think it was, the second time they did it. And I had a lot of fun just as a person in the chat. So last year I was part of it, and I took it upon myself to up the thank you. And that's where I started. I created these certificates and mailed them out to the winners. Now, I've gotten I remember when afterwards I was sending out like Billy Tucci. He was, when I saw him in both Jersey and in Baltimore, he remembered that I'd sent it out to him, and he thanked me. He goes, "Thank you so much for that. It means a lot." I mean, and then so I enjoy doing it. I do it for fun as my own personal way of saying thank you to them. But I might be the one who's sending them the certificate. But the thank you doesn't really go to me. The thank you goes to the chat. They're the ones that decide who wins. In many ways, when we do the award show, we're really just like Melissa and Joan Rivers. And we just do our commentary for humor and for fun. But the voting and those that determine who wins, we don't have anything to do with it. It all comes down to the fans of the chat. Now, where I really like the importance of the show is because it is about the chat. The chat dictates what the topic of conversation is. We might come up with talking points for the show, but if the chat if the chat doesn't care about what we're talking about, we change on point to the topics that they want to talk about. Which means if they want to bitch about late books, then that's what we're going to talk about. It's not because we've been trying to stay away from that whole thing. We want to be more positive, and that's what we want to try to bring to the show is positivity, where there's so much negativity in other shows. And with other shows also, as Steven Sat pointed out when he did his show this week, he goes how really we're there to bring to light what the chat is addressing and what they're talking about. The chat's about they're the real stars of the show, whereas with other shows, they are the viewer and they're watching the creators or the YouTuber. We might be the ones on screen talking, but really it's about them. They're the ones that really drive the show, and they're the reason why we do the show is for them, not for us. So, and the reason why I bring up Stat was apparently John Malin, when he did his post-Kangs this week, he was salty about the results of the nominations for the certain for who was being nominated, who wasn't. And with Malin, it's one of those where it's like, it could be kayfabe, but you don't know. And he uses his kayfabe to many ways, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, to hide and get away with saying stuff that could be inflammatory, and then he can be like, "Oh, it's just kayfabe, guys. It's just kayfabe." Nah, it with me. I avoid Malin now. I'll freely admit I avoid Malin because I'm just tired of how he does things. Starting to avoid Ethan too. I'll watch Comicsgate Kings for everybody else on the show, not for him. If someone else would be able to take over the show, wouldn't mind at all. In fact, I mean, many times, let's put it this way. It used to be I'd try to watch all of Comicsgate Kings. Now it's one of those where it's like, if I shut it off if something else is going on, if I tune in late because other stuff's going on, I don't feel like I need to go back and watch what was also said. So, but that's my personal opinion. But no, Stat, apparently I didn't watch this kayfab or efabbing that Malin did of our show. Stat did. And then Stat, when he did his, it had to be the Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday when he did his Wednesday show. We were traveling to go someplace for Miss Stippling's birthday. So we were in the car and I was just listening to it. And so I thought Stat did a great job. He did a very good job of explaining stuff, of presenting a counterpoint to what Malin was saying. And he presented it in a very fair, as objective as possible, and honesty. Okay? That's the one thing you can't fight against. You can't fight. It's getting harder and harder to fight against honesty, and he was being very honest. Where in the past it was used to subjugate or subvert honesty. The way he presented it, like Malin wants to keep crying, he can. But really, like I said, it's not us. And as Stat said, every single year that this show since the chat's been doing the award show, the award episode, it's always had some controversy of people that don't think that was done fairly, and it really comes down to is like, hey, we're doing this for fun. If you don't like how we're doing it, do your own award show. Do your own award show. It doesn't matter. I mean, here's it, and we see it each year. Okay, if there's a certain, because we know Ethan watches us. If there's a certain category that Ethan wants to win it, he'll tweet it out. Oh, I'm sorry, he won't. Mikey does, and Mikey will tweet it out, and all of Ethan's fans show up, and then they will then vote for the category that Ethan wants to win. So, so we're accustomed to it. Okay, we're accustomed to people coming in being like, people that normally don't watch the show checking it out. This is always one of the biggest viewed shows live. So we're going to be ready for it. And if it's one of those where it's like, if the normal chat is really pro Roquefort's a great example. This is the chat's always been a pro Roquefort crowd. Okay, if Malin sends his fans in and they vote another way to get another creator to win something, that's what we're to expect. Okay, so we expect it, and that's just the way it is. Like I said, this is our award show. If someone doesn't like the way we do our show, they're more than welcome to do their own award show. I mean, like I said, with me sending out these certificates, I do it because I'm having fun doing it, and I want to do it as a means of thanking these creators. If these other creators, like Malin and Ethan, if they want to go out and they want to have like professionally made certificates done, or plaques, or award trophies be handed out, that's their choice. They're more than welcome to do that. If they want to show us up with this by doing this, they're more than welcome to. Okay? We're just doing this for fun. So, so if we just have fun with it and we enjoy it. That's what matters. If it's fun for us, we're going to keep doing it. If it stops being fun for us, we'll stop. It's plain as simple as that. But no, I thought Stat did a great job. If you have a chance to watch Stat's show from Wednesday, I encourage everybody to do so. I thought he did a great job. So, but tonight we've got the second episode of the nominations, and the categories we're going to be going over is most anticipated book, colorist, book of the year, best writer, best solo show, and creator of the year, and newest creator. Yes, I had to stop to go over and look at my notes. But those are the categories we're going to be going over tonight. Okay. Now, I've got my own personal preferences for those categories. For most anticipated book, for me, it's Ghost of Matacumba Key. It is Wraith of God Blood Hunters, and it's, even though it just launched and it's still in campaign mode, Aaron Lopresti's Kit Carter. Those are the books I'm looking forward to most. Now, I'm sure that if Malin sends his bots in, or sends his fans in, that they will insist that Godlike be included in that list. And if they stick around, I'm sure that they'll probably get voted as one of the nominations. Now, whether they show up next weekend to vote it so he wins, that's entirely their choice. Like I said, this is not our award show. We don't gatekeep, really. We're not going to sway. We're not going to give it to Malin because we don't like him. No, if the chat votes and that's the show, that's the book that they won. That's what I mean. I know that like last year, the book that won that category was Ethan's Wrecked Planet. It was voted most anticipated book. I remember because I'm the one that sent the certificate out, and I remember that Ethan also won best solo show. So no, I'm looking forward to Ghosts and Blood Hunters and Kit Carter. I'm freely admitting I am a huge Aaron Lopresti and Graham Nolan fan. I freely admit that those are the reason why those two guys, well, Graham specifically, is the reason why I'm here. And then once I knew of Aaron and I liked his stuff, but where I really got to meet him as a creator is through these YouTube shows. And I really like Aaron. I really like him. And that's the reason why. I mean, I always try to promote him as much as possible. In fact, when you look at the links in the description of this video, you're going to see Kit Carter listed there. Same as Ghost of Matacumba Key. So I'm promoting them my way by having them listed in my description with these videos. So give me a second here, guys. Sometimes when I'm stippling this stuff and I'm doing a detailed area, I don't want to distract myself by talking. So let's get some. Give me a second here. I want to make sure I get this upper lip. Okay, now we got that out of the way. So we have that. So that's the anticipated book. Those are mine. For best colors, we know that Kyle Rittenhouse or Kyle Ritter. I'm sorry, not Rittenhouse. Kyle Ritter. Kyle Ritter will definitely be getting a lot of love. I'll be throwing Gregory Wright into the ring. I'm sure Kelsey, he will be getting his hat thrown in the ring for best colors. He won last year, in fact. I don't think Kyle won. I think Kelsey won it. So we've got that, and then book of the year. Last year, Aaron Lopresti was nominated for Wraith of God, but I don't think he won. I think Inglorious Rex won it. And so this year, for me, book of the year, book of the year has to be fulfilled. Okay, it can't be a book that hasn't been shipped yet. So like Blood Hunters, you can't nominate that, and Wraith of God was last year, so it's not counted. So for me, my two that I'm going with is Terror in the Trenches and also Cash Grab. See, this is one of those where it's like when it's my turn to put my nomination in, because that's how it works. Is like we start off with every person, the panelists. We put in our nomination, and then we open it up to the chat for the rest of it, because we start with 20 options, and then we narrow it down to 5. So again, this is where I'm looking like book of the year. I know we're probably going to have a lot of people suggesting Wrecked Planet, and Wrecked Planet may win. I know that we're going to get a lot for Roquefort. For me, it's like Tear in the Trenches, and my other one that I'm going to put in, because I really did like it, is Cash Grab. I really liked Cash Grab. It reminded me of Mad Magazine, and Cecil didn't have to worry about anybody saying no to him, and he gave us what we wanted from Mad Magazine when we were kids, because of like comics, because of like the kind of like a comics code that they had back then they had to deal with. They could only go so far with the humor. Well, Cecil didn't have any problems whatsoever. He had nobody telling him no, and he went that far. And the humor is great. I loved it, and that's the reason why I'm really torn. I'm probably going to nominate Cash Grab and hope that someone else nominates Tear in the Trenches. So, but those are my two main picks for this year, are those two books. Best writer, Claus Janson with Tear in the Trenches. I would hope that someone would nominate Mike Barron. I also hope that somebody nominates Chuck Dixon. So, and best writer, I know Ethan's going to get nominated for Wrecked Planet. I don't really have anything against Wrecked Planet. I think that it was basically 2 issues. He could have done it as 2 issues if he wanted to. This is where, honestly, and this is criticism, is I think Ethan would benefit greatly from having a editor to like give me your whole book, give me the whole story. Okay, I know you want to add that, but this is the story. He needs somebody to keep him on track in many ways. So I think I know he's going to get nominated. I thought Heartsick Horror was better than Wrecked Planet. I thought the art was really good by Cannon White, and I thought that The story overall was just really solid. So I mean, there I would not have a problem with having Ethan winning because of the fact that he wrote Hard Sick Heart. So, and then after that we have Best Solo Show, which again I'm sure we're going to get nominations. I think Ethan won that last year. Can't remember whether he won that for Kings or whether he won it for Best Solo Show. I can't remember which. But I'll definitely, I personally would want to have Aaron. I love watching Aaron's shows. In fact, on Sundays, when I get home from the bar, I always get home from the bar about half hour, 45 minutes before Aaron's show starts. And that way I can get a shower. And then we'll eat dinner in the living room watching Aaron live. And when I say we, I mean Miss Stippling and I. We both watch that show together. She'll sometimes, I remember the one time we were watching the show and she put in the chat, she made some remark about liking Shelly's nails, her nail polish. And Shelly noticed it right away. So she's like, oh, thank you. So, but no, I really like Aaron's show. Another a Best Solo Show, an up-and-comer by John's Longbox. I really like that show. It really gets to that like old school meat and potatoes of wanting to just go over books and whatnot. I'm going to take a break from talking to you guys about that, show you guys. I got this whiteout pen. It's here, Pocock, okay, or Posca, okay, by Uni, okay. Found out about this. Let's see here how this works. Let's see here. So, well, I'm not having any luck here. Shoot. There we go. So I want to have like stars in the black areas because it's Star Wars. So I'm just experimenting with this. I don't know. Looks okay. It's good. It's just an experiment. I mean, what's the worst that happens? I gotta white it out. So. Let's see here. I don't know. It looks okay. I don't know. We'll have to experiment more at another time. I just want to take a quick break. So, from inking to try that out. But now when I ink, now I gotta keep my hand away from that area. So, but yeah. So we've got the last topic, the last category is after Best Solo Show is oh, I'm sorry. We got two categories still here I gotta talk about. We have Creator of the Year, which Creator of the Year for me is Graham Nolan. I'm always going to go Graham. He's the one that got me into crowdfunding and got me into this whole scene with the YouTube, and also he's the one that brought me in. I mean, he's the one that keeps me here many times. He does a great job with his YouTube shows, and he does a great job with his books. And he knows, and like for me, he's one of those where it's like I'm not a YouTuber. I am a comic book creator first and foremost. And Ghost of Matacuma Key is basically 10,000 away from cracking 200,000. I really hope Graham is able to get there, that would be extraordinary. I'm always going to be rooting for him. So again, I'll make sure I've got his book in the description. Please check it out. And no, don't, you know what? Don't check it out. Check it out and then back it. You will not be disappointed. Especially when he says that this is the linchpin book that connects the whole Nolan universe together. When he was doing Ghost of Matacumba Key, he figured it out. And he was so excited how he figured it out. And he was, oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, this is going to be so cool. So I'm really anxious as to how he's going to figure out how he can link the whole Nolan verse, how he's linking it all together, which we discover in the Ghost of Matacumba Key. So, but yeah, he'd definitely be creator of the year for me. And then the last category is newest creator. Now, how I'm presenting them to you guys is probably not how we're going to be doing them. We're not probably not doing them in that order. Okay. So, but no, I for newest creator, I would say like Art Jedi. He did his first book this year. But like Art Jedi, Vaughn Coleman, he's really making a name for himself. So I would say those two would be my two bids for newest creator. So, but you gotta tune in, you gotta vote yourself to see who won. So, but I'm gonna keep working on this. Everybody, I don't know if I'll be doing a Stippling short. When I get done making this, I'm running over about 2 towns over from us. There's a comic book store that's going out of business, and they posted that with going out of business, all their dollar comics are 3 for $1. So they've got a whole box. They've got like 24 boxes of dollar comics. And what they do have, they got a bunch of those, those old weathered comics from like the 70s and 80s that were like forgotten about in closets and in attics and basements. They got a ton of those. So I'm going to flip through those and get some old weathered, beat up comic books, just like how we pass around as kids. So grab some of those. I'm going to probably grab quite a few if there's 3 for $1. So, but they're going out of business. They're going to be, I think the 9th, I think it's something like the 17th or the 19th is their final day open. So I'm going to get over there. I'm going to run over there, look around, and then if I'm able to come back here and do a time-lapse video before the show tonight, I'll do that, but I may not. So if you don't see it, that's the reason why I didn't do a time-lapse video today. So, okay. So everybody, you guys have a great day. Remember, life is stressful, and that's why you take it all one dot at a time.